Good morning, everybody. All right, so today's Friday. We got a few okay movers. Let me mute this. It might be an echo. Wait, never mind. It's muted. All right, so yeah, like somebody mentioned, TIK has recently started to run. I don't think it's tradable for me, but look at this thing go, man. This thing has a lot of volume, gapping up from 245 to 507. We'll see if it can hold over that $5 level and use that area as support. It had really low volume previously. You can see how slow it was before this. And so, like I said, I really doubt it's going to be tradable for me. But we'll see what happens with it. They did add TNXP to TEFs, and so I can trade TNXP now. So I might be looking to short this one. I still think it's up some, maybe up a little bit too much. And so I know it was a reverse split, if I remember correctly, something along those lines. Yeah, I still think it may be a little bit extended. Going to look for a short on this one, but it could very easily push up. It has a really big range as well, so got to figure out how to possibly approach that. I've been trading AMD all week, and it's been doing me pretty well. So I'm going to watch AMD again today, see what happens with it. NIO is moving some. It had a beautiful fade yesterday that I missed. I was kind of bummed out about missing it, but, it did fade really nicely there. Gonna watch CRON, had a big move up yesterday. NBEV had a big move yesterday. ASNS, we'll see what happens with that. ADIL went up yesterday. Aside from that, it's a little slow. Just trying to find a few things that I like today. We have Solo gapping up some. What's up, Huguetes? Yeah, no worries, brother. All right, so hasn't been a bad week this so far, guys. It hasn't been a bad week, I have had 2 profitable days and 1 break-even day yesterday. If you left the stream early yesterday, I did come back and cancel out that loss with a $15 gain yesterday on AMD. And so I did come back from that loss. So far this week, I've had 3 green trades and 1 red trade, so 75% trading accuracy so far. It's a small sample size, but we're going to look to finish the week out strong here. See if I can go every day without having, a real red day. So we'll see what happens. Last day of the week. Not going to force anything, though. We'll see what we get. Mitch should also be joining us today. So let me get that set up. Alright, so I just sent Mitch the invite. He should be here soon. I don't know. I was thinking about that as well. Maybe I should try to refresh it because it should be showing up here. This is like easily the biggest stock that's moving right now. I'm going to try to refresh it. That is weird. I don't know why it's not showing up. Let me look at the parameters of this scanner. It's not even showing up in pre-market moves as well. Oh, it's still not showing up. That's weird. Wait. No. Yeah, I don't know why TIK is not showing up on the gap scanner. That is strange. For TIK? What do we think what do we think of TIK? I mean, just to look at it here, it's up a lot. We'll have to look up the news on it to see what's going on with it. It is up. I mean, I'm definitely more inclined as a short. If you look at the the daily chart, just look at all this. Like every time it pushes up, it fails. It broke out, crashed, failed, 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 failed. And so every time it gaps up, it fails. It's just about when it's gonna do it, you know. I think at least. Who knows though? You never know with stocks. I always try to humble myself with stocks and let myself know that I have no idea what's going to happen. All I can do is use the historical data to judge, but you can see the daily chart is pretty bad for this one. Every time it gaps up, it fails. And so yeah, that's kind of my mentality too. Two-way is that most of the time, if a stock gaps up a huge amount, it's gonna come back down some at least. Most of the time, it fails. That's kind of my whole strategy, really, is just looking for overextended gap ups and shorting them on the way down. Lately, I've been trading AMD a lot, but you know, I think the strategy makes sense. I think most of the time they come back down, and so there's short opportunities, at least for me. What's up, Abby? Good morning. Yeah, I'm watching ANY. I'm watching those HSC GX Castro. Let me see. HSGX isn't really in my like what I look for. It's a little bit too cheap for me, at least. But yeah, watching TNPX, TIK, AND, and NIO. They're all moving some, so I'll watch those four probably. We'll have to look up some news really quick. Let's see if we can find some. Alright, so I'm looking up TIK to see what it does, why it's moving. Um, so yesterday TIK announced a 816,000 test set order. Let's see what this really means. for the Mode 5 test sets from a major U.S. defense contractor. So a large order for TIK. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what it gives us. Gonna look at TNXP, which is a bio stock. It's right above that. TNXP. It moved yesterday because of FDA acceptance of the study design for their PTSD drug, apparently. And so FDA acceptance for TNXP, which is this stock up here. We'll see if it comes back down some. Who knows? Also looking at NIO getting a little bit of a spike here after a big gap down day the other day. The CEO of NIO, his name was Padmasree Warrior, is going to resign on December 17th. It states that it's the company's first major departure since September IPO. Interesting. We'll see what happens with NIO. Cannabis stocks are up some. At least Kron was. CGC's kind of break even. So we'll see what else we can get. I wish TIK was tradable though. What's up, Frank? We also have FATE popping up, but no volume. OGEN is up again. But yeah, I kind of look at TIK like OGEN here. Like if you look at the daily chart, spike, fail, spike, fail, spike, fail. And, you know, you can see the same kind of thing with TIK. All right, I see you this time raising your hand, Mitch. Here, let me get you in here, brother. There we go. Hold on one second. I'm going to go grab my headphones, so.
Yo. Yo. You there, big man? Call you out right now. All right. I know you can hear me, my people, but what's going on?
What's up, Mitch?
If you can't, oh well.
Yeah, I'm here, brother. What's up, man? Yo. What's up, man?
What's up, big dog?
All right, there you are. All right. Yeah, sorry. I had to go grab my headphones. What's up, man? All right,
What's up?
we got Mitch here, everybody.
How we doing, guys? Let's do this. I'm ready for Friday. Let's get it on.
Yeah, I had to go get my headphones. Netron, he was coming out of my speakers. That's why there was an echo, but it should be okay. Appreciate the sub, David and Moretta. Low volume. Let me turn Mitch up a little bit. All right, that should work. What's up, Danny? Good morning, man. All right, brother. So it's been a pretty good week. I mean, I've had 2 green days. Yesterday was about a break-even day. I actually ended it up in gross profits, a very, very small amount, but I was probably down a little bit in net profits. And so I'm just going to call it break-even. But even if you consider yesterday a loss, it was like a $5 loss. You know, last 2 days have been $20 gains, so up about 35 on the week. You know,
Not bad.
Three green trades, 1 red trade. So we'll see if we can finish the week out strong today. Not gonna force anything though, you know.
Yep. Can't trade TIK, but we'll be watching other stocks. How's the any life?
Any's tradable. T and XP is tradable as well. So we can trade T and XP. Appreciate the sub, Delaware. Delaware, if I'm pronouncing that right. Appreciate it. Welcome. Good morning, KC. What's up, man? Good morning, David and Moretta, Danny, uh, Joe, Netron, Frank, Abby, JC, Adam, Fias, Chi, Adrienne, Rommel, who get this, JR. Yeah, JR asked, I have $5 grand. Where should I put it? I it all depends, man. Very very subjective question, and so it all depends on what you're trying to do with it, man.
I like Michael. I'll take it.
Right.
Just hand it over.
CZZ.
Right back. 2 seconds.
Brian says donate it to me. Yeah, keep it in your bank until you're 100% ready to trade. It's one of those things like yesterday's class, we talked about how, like, the process of finding consistency. One of those is, there's a lot of different steps to it, but you want to make sure you're 100% ready for real money before you trade with real money. A lot of people rush real money, and you got to make sure you're ready. Michael on red. Get some roulette going. Yeah, I actually know of some traders that try to implement the martingale roulette strategy in trading. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the martingale roulette strategy, but the basic logic is that you double your bet size each time until you win. And by that logic, you would have to lose 6 times in a row to actually lose. And the logic makes sense. The only problem with that is that if you continuously double your hands, you're not going to lose often. But when you do lose, it's going to wipe out any gains you made because that loss is going to be so big after doubling and doubling. And so, but yet some of the big movers in the market are TIK. It's probably gapping up the most. Hey, brother, let's play tonight then, John. Email me, brother. We can hop on, man. Global's fun, man. I like playing on Global. It used to be better though. Like Global used to be better because they used to let you deposit via PayPal, and then they stopped, and now you have to deposit another way. But I still like Global. There's as opposed to the winning poker network like ACR and BCP. Ultimately, there's less bots on Global Poker. I feel like it's a little bit softer action too. So yes, Joe. Right, man. I mean, it it's it makes sense, Joe, until you realize that you're not going to lose often, but that 1 or 2 times you lose in a short time frame is really going to destroy any profits you made. All right, I'm going to go to the restroom, man. Hold it down, Mitch.
Got you. All right, guys. My main watch for today is any right now. Looking for any to probably crash down, back down to the support. Key level on this stock is going to be that first kind of launch high, which was 677. 677 is the point where it's going to be on the bullish side. I think it's going to stay in the bearish sense and kind of break down through 6 through the open. Another stock that I'm looking at Let's go see. Let's see what I can find here. All right. Let's got solo. Let's see. KDMN. Nick, for you, the best free pre-market charts will probably have to be Thinkorswim for sure. At least free wise. What's up with the weed stocks? Let's see how they're doing. Oof, that looks pretty. There's a huge trend line there on Cron. It's gonna be interesting on Cron. I will be watching that stock. Also MBEV. TIK is not on beginners, but it's on mine, Salty. I have a different one. He uses an up and a down one. I have a gappers list. I have it showing up 104% right now at $5 with 743,000 shares for today. The float size is only 2.35 million. That's why you're seeing this burst, and the shares outstanding is 3.26 million. Definitely has a huge stock Twitter relativity, meaning that a lot of traders are watching this. So it's probably going to be one of the top watch stocks of the day. Is this Amberella? Let me see. Yep, AMBA. Amberella up, guys. I'm going to be watching this stock to reverse. I've seen this stock trade before. It's usually, at least the fundamentals of this stock uh, definitely don't support strength, but I'm going to go ahead and look into the news, find out what's going on with Amberella. All right. AMB, AMBA. We got a earnings beat and a strong outlook.
Yeah, AMBA is not tradable, I don't think. Let me see.
Let's find out.
I checked it earlier. I think that was the one I checked.
Ah,
Yeah, man. I mean, that one should be tradable.
yeah, that one should be tradable. I don't understand why that one's not. God dang, Brogen back.
Yeah, man.
The Brogen never wants to go away.
Man, look at TIK's daily chart, Mitch.
Yeah, too bad we can't trade it.
I know. Look, just perfect daily chart for shorting.
Yep.
Almost every single time it comes back down.
That's why you gotta look at daily charts.
All right. Let me see Robinhood. I'm not really. Let's see what we get.
disappointed about that AMBA. I think that's a good stock.
Yeah. Yeah, a little slow, I'd say as well, John. A little slow in pre-market. We have TIK moving. My four watches are TIK, TNXP, NIO, and AMD. But aside from that, we're really not getting that much volume. TNXP has a huge range, just a ridiculous range so far. A lot of movement yesterday. Even the intraday range yesterday was about from 630 to 960, so $3.30 for a stock less than $10. It's a pretty big range yesterday. ADAP,
Not tradable.
it doesn't look bad though. I mean, it's up a lot. ACB, yeah, I mean ACB, it faded nicely yesterday. Thanks for the sub, Sid. Welcome, man. Appreciate it.
I like my daily chart for I. Be watching that stock.
Didn't I tank yesterday? No, I went up. Oh, I rebounded from that big gap down. Big gap down on Thursday or on Wednesday
Yep.
or on yeah.
At 24.90 is going to be very important.
DWT popping up on skaters. I believe DWT is a ETF, but it's popping up here. Actually, let me see. Is this an ETF? Let me look it up. Yeah, it's a 3 times inverse ETF for oil, and it's moving up some. Some people talking about
that ASNS still not tradable.
Yeah, they added TNXP though. Just it has such a huge range, so they did add TNXP to their platform.
Okay.
We're using TEFs, which is TradeNet's platform. Mel.
What's the news out for TNXP?
TNXP had FDA acceptance for their PTSD biodrug, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure that's what happened yesterday, was FDA acceptance for their PTSD biodrug.
Okay, but the main thing is that 1 to 10 reverse stock split.
Right, for sure. Yeah, you can see the split.
That's really where it's from. That's the other thing is the fluff news with it.
100%. And so, yeah, I mean, what was the price for the split?
It's a 1 to 10, and I'll find out the price right now. It was
1 to 10.
They used it to satisfy the $1 minimum bid, and it brought the numbers of shares from 150 million to only 15 million shares. That's really where you're seeing the strength come, because now it's the float size has gotten a lot smaller.
Yeah, ADIL is not tradable, but it's spiking up some as well. Yeah, Prasad. I mean, I think the news story. Let me read the news story. It's like Mitch said though. It was a reverse split, and then they put the fluff piece out to try to push it up some after the split. But yeah, the news.
Really watching the support on this stock, guys. It's right there, right close. If it breaks that support, I want to see a good hard down move, but I'll definitely attack this if it breaks down through the sixes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the news on it, at least after the reverse split, was that the FDA accepted the company's design of a late-stage study testing for one of their bio drugs or for their drug candidate for treating PTSD. And so that's ultimately, where the fluff piece came from yesterday. I don't know for a fact it's a fluff piece. If they're putting it out at the same time as their reverse split, that's almost guaranteed to be a fluff piece, though. just because it's kind of one of their tactics to get it to go up more. So we'll see what happens, but who knows. Which one is 1.5 million, Jeremy? Which float? MITL popping up on my scanners as well. Very, very big float. No use in trading that one. TNXP. If the float's that small, this thing could really move. That's probably why the range is so big. Market cap's 9.9 million according to this. Man, the Saints lost yesterday, man. I'm kind of bummed out about it. It's been a bad 2 weeks to be a Louisiana football fan living in Texas, I'll tell you that. Nobody remind me about that LSU A&M game.
All right, so I'm looking more into the company itself.
And TNXP.
Right, so, yeah, I'm finding out more about that. So did they actually approve it, or did they just kind of fluff it up?
They accepted it. Was their quote? Their was what they said. Yeah, it's showing a 1.28 million float on mine, so close to what you said as well, Jeremy. So yeah, very low float stock, TNXP. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm happy with the Saints this year. We'll make it to the playoffs. You know, we're the best in our division, but still, um, like I said, it's been a bad 2 weeks. Appreciate the sub, Dan. Appreciate it, brother. All right, so yeah, watching AMD, CRON's up, ACB, NIO spiked up some here after dropping yesterday. NIO put out a release that said their CEO is resigning, I think December 17th, if I remember correctly. And so we'll see what happens with this one. Maybe look to short it as well, depending on how it looks. All right, guys, but we got about 6 minutes until the open.
Okay, so it's not a fully accepted. They're essentially just saying that it's kind of meeting the guidelines right now. That's all they're pretty much saying. As I get more into it, I read their 10K and I find out more that it says we are largely dependent on the success of our clinical stage product candidate, the PTSD one. We cannot be certain if the product candidate will receive regulatory approval or is successfully commercialized. So that's really where it's going to go down to. It's a fluff piece on that sense. I think they're trying to create kind of a push in this stock because if they push it up to a certain level, they can bring investors in and bring some more money into the company and essentially maybe bring out another product while their last little bit of testing, phase 3 testing, goes through for the PTSD. They still need to do some testing for it to be approved, and that's what they're pretty much mainly saying.
Interesting. Look at NIO starting to spike here, gapping up.
But you see how they kind of make it look like they accepted it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up, Paul and Lisa? Yeah, I think that's probably, hopefully that's what it'll be, John. The Chiefs are some beasts this year, though, man. TIK is not tradable, mostly probably, I'm assuming, because it had really, really low volume prior to this. You can see how low the volume was. It wasn't even getting, 5,000 shares a day, on average before today. So just low volume prior to this. Stocks that have low volume typically aren't listed. They may add them, like they added TNXP yesterday because it had some volume come in. But
I love the
TIK.
flag on AMBA, but can't trade it. Great flag there, but not tradable.
Yep. DRIP. Another ETF. We'll see what we get. Look at NIO though. NIO is getting some volume, spiking up to 790s, gapping up about 11 cents thus far in pre-market. We'll see what happens with that as well.
Yeah, I want NIO to really start making some moves. I feel like I keep trading it in between the moves, and that's always difficult, you know?
It had a nice fade yesterday. It stair-stepped a little bit too much for me to take it. I kind of regretted not taking it, but it faded really nicely. I know a few people in here took the fade. And so, not a bad fade for NIO, but we'll see what we get from it today. All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes left, a little bit over 2 minutes. Appreciate the sub, Kyle. Welcome, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, what I would want to see on any, for me to try to tackle any, I want it to come down all the way down to this 580s, 560s in that area to show me that real push down on the daily.
What's up, Paul? Appreciate the sub, Sean. Welcome, man. Appreciate it.
And for TNXP, I want to see it break 6.
TNXP is one of those stocks that just the range is huge, you know. So it's like it's kind of tough to approach it just because the range is so big, you know. All right, guys, we got about a minute left, a little bit over a minute. Yeah, OGN is up. I was trying to test $1. It's not tradable for me, but I was watching that one as well. 100% two-way. Appreciate it, brother. Yes, sir. SPY going down hard. I mean, it rebounds some from its lows. I mean, SPY's been in just a sideways action for a while now, you know, since about October 18th or so. SPY's just been choppy sideways. All right, guys, I'm going to pull up the intraday scans so we can see those since the bell's about to ring. Get these intraday scans out, see what we can find today.
All right, guys, 15 seconds to the bell. Let's do this.
Yep.
One of the key things that we talk about in our classes is traders, while this open comes, don't try to make a trade. Try to find the best trade. You should be more in a observing mode than a trading mode.
Right.
Wait till you find the setup that you like and then get into your trading mode to go ahead and make the best plan of your trade.
Yeah, you can't force anything down the market or it'll humble you for sure. AMD dropping big here. Big drop.
TIK shooting off there. I have another stock, ADIL. ADIL. Not sure about this one. Yep, but it's moving fast. ADIL, guys. That's a really big mover really quickly. Not tradable for us, but anybody else out there, this does look like a good stock, getting some great momentum there at the open.
All right, so AMD crashing some. Big drop.
Yeah, big drop on AMD.
What's up, Ice Cold? Good morning, man.
Man, AMD getting hit hard there.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I was looking for a bounce to 25s. I had the order out. Um, no bounce there though. Just
yeah.
plunged through the 20s
Look at that crash, man.
or 21s.
Let's see if we get a pullback here.
Yeah, look for the bounce.
Risk would be at 27s. Doesn't look bad. Maybe 33s, but man, look at it. It just continues to fall here.
Yeah.
ACB crashing down too. ACB.
ACB tradable.
Yeah,
All
should
right,
be.
just making sure.
I think
I haven't
so.
traded this one.
I mean, it was prior. Let me look. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, it is. All right, so looking at AMD to squeeze back up to this 21, not to squeeze up to this 2114 level. I could set a risk of, like I said, maybe 26, 13-cent risk or so right now. If it gets back up to that VWAP level, we'll see. We'll give it that time. Cron fading too. Look at Mitch. I spiking here, just running. TNXP, no volume for TNXP. Weird. NIO failing some. Cron just getting hit hard as well. All right, so at this point with AMD, I got the VWAP has dropped so much. I got to look to see where I can set my risk, right? I think 25s is a reasonable spot. Maybe 27s. A little bit worse risk and reward, but I don't hate it necessarily. NIO spiking right back up to the VWAP here, but low volume.
Real quick move on AMD.
Yeah,
I wanted the VWAP. I was looking for a VWAP at least 21.
Me too.
But it didn't even get above 21.
At this point, maybe that 2115 level can be held as a risk if it does pull back there. Just kind of trying to calculate risk as it moves more and more down. If it does pull back to the VWAP, where would my risk be?
All right, guys. I'm short here on ACB. ACB here, guys. Got to hold to a quick stop of 61.
Man, AMD just never looked back. VWAP's too low at this point for me. TIK hitting the bed, which is what I thought would happen. Gonna look for Cron here. I mean, VWAP's a little low though, so it's bad risk and reward. That's the only problem. Where's your risk on ACB?
61.
Okay. Yeah, I just never really got the move on AMD that I was looking for. It looked okay, but I just never really got it. Just a little bit too quick of a fade. A lot of stuff just dropping really fast, not really fading off the VWAP much. What's up, Tiny? VTorf. He said, "This looks like you're hacking NASA. I have no clue what you're doing." Yeah, man, it's a process, brother. It takes a little bit of time, man.
All right, gotta be careful here, guys. Big share size just went through there. 53s, 54s.
I'm actually looking at ACB for a fade here. Risk off of 65 maybe, with like 200 shares or so. If you can hold that level. No, man, didn't give me it. Didn't have time. Nice little tap of the VWAP, but just didn't give me it. See what we get.
A lot of volume there. Gotta be tight.
AMD just continues to fail here. Cron may be pulling back to the VWAP, although with Cron, I just don't like the risk reward with Cron. You could look at it. Risk would have to be, let me see, 83s or so. Risk and reward would have to be 70. So risk would be like 7 cents. Reward would be 5 cents or so. So for that reason, I don't like it as much. Yeah, ADIL is not tradable, John.
All right, this next candle just gotta be really tight, guys.
Cron's up there though, man. It doesn't look bad at all for Cron. It just the risk and reward. Maybe I could set risk at 84s. It got up to 80s, you know. But it's still about a 1-to-1 trade. AMD, if it gets up to 2090 with a risk of 21, maybe 2104 doesn't look bad. Let me take a look at it. The VWAP's just so low, I could see it crossing it. That's the only problem. A and Y really tanking here too.
All right, guys, just want to watch this reject from 60s here and come back down. We'll get our break. All right, there's a big bid here. Got to be careful. There's the 60s.
Here, I sent you a chat, Mitch, on Zoom. I'm almost looking at ACB for a fade, though. I mean, it's up there.
Yeah, trying to get the VWAP fade here. Gotta hold to that 60. It's getting bought up right now. Gotta be careful. Don't want to see 61 show up here.
Let's see, risk can be 50s. Risk can be 65. Reward can be 50. 2-to-1. I might take ACB here short, honestly, right here.
I'm out, guys. Small loss. Only $24. I like TNXP, but
I'm kind of looking at AMD here as well. AMD's at the VWAP. The only problem is that the VWAP is so low that if I get in at 87, risk can be at 21. That's about a 13-cent risk for AMD. Reward would be down at 2060s, and so about a 20-cent reward or so, about 2-to-1. We'll see if we get that move. It may fade before I can really take advantage of it, though.
yeah. Come on.
Actually, like ACB a little bit more. Let me look at it. I'm judging off of ACB and AMD. They both don't look bad here. Guess I'm looking more at AMD. Maybe a little late.
Tiny, there's nothing to be sorry about. A loss is a loss. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, man. I mean, losses happen. You know,
It's
Mitch has had
$24
right.
with 500 shares. I'm not worried. ADIL, ADIL going off on that momentum scanner. Might have gotten stopped out by a cent. Who knows? But 1 cent is where I keep my limit, and I respect it. I'm out of this trade. I have a DTRM, guys. DTRM looks like one of those dollar magnets. What I like to refer to as dollar magnets. Stocks, penny stocks, essentially really penny stocks, trying to get up there to that dollar point.
TNXP kind of had a nice fade there. Bigger range though, but the fade didn't look bad. VKTX tanking here. Appreciate the sub, Cass. Welcome, appreciate it. I mean, with this point with AMD, you can see this resistance and support line I drew prior to that right here at 2073. Looking at it here, with risk of 21, reward of like 2058, 2060, it doesn't look that bad. It needs to get up to 87 though, for that good risk to reward to be there. Kind of a risky place to short it though, because that's the previous high of that move. Kron ended up faking out, heading up. Looked like a fade. I think ACB might follow it though here. Alright, up to 90s. With AMD, I just don't like the fade that much. It broke that high. If it gets rejected back down, maybe, but we'll see what we get. I don't want to get a squeeze up to 21 to get stopped out. Tight wrist though. AMD is one of those ones. It's kind of stair stepping up there. That it's kind of a toss up for me. You know, just because it put in this previous low right here at 2075, and so you know it doesn't look like a bad fade, but I might take a small position here and just give myself that risk. All right, I'm in with 100 shares on AMD. Ultimately looking for it to come back down. Tight risk of around 21. We'll see if it heads back down here for me. There's 80s, 78s, not bad. Get ready to take a little bit of profit if it continues to wash. Ultimately what I'm looking for. See if it fades back down.
Any here. I like it on the chart wise, but I don't like where the VWAP and the kind of the moving averages are. And if it does get slammed through this 80 here, it could just start tanking down. But a little tight for me. The risk would have to be off to 604. So essentially you're looking at 20-cent risk. And 20-cent risk on this stock, you have to at least get a 40-cent profit. I don't see it doing that big of a move on this breakdown, but hey, it's all up to you.
I got to. Oh, what, AMD?
Any.
Oh. Yeah, I'm in AMD right now, looking for the fade here.
Ah, where's your entry?
85,
What's the risk?
21.
Not a bad, not a bad risk to reward.
Yeah, not bad. We'll see if it fails here. If not, I mean, no stress. It's really struggling there, and so I'm gonna just look for it to keep struggling. If not, I can get out for a small loss. I'm not stressing it. Here's the move. Would love to see a rejection here, but kind of stair stepping up makes me a little bit more skeptical of it. I like that $21 risk though. I can hold to that level and be fine with it. I mean, it's trying here though.
Watching TNXP here, guys, it's looking really interesting. I am seeing some short step in there. I would have to let it bounce one more time and get in somewhere in the 20s so I could risk up to the 30s. But I need to be up there in the 20s, closer to 30.
All right, so with AMD, we're going to let it test here down to 86s. Hopefully it crashes back underneath the VWAP, but we'll see. Gonna look for it to come back down. Like I said, risk is around 21. Reward target's about 2060. And so gonna let it work here. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I think it's good risk reward. Just gotta let it follow through, see what it does.
All right. And my order out there for TNXP to short at 630. Looking for a bounce here to get filled and then hold off of 640. 10-cent risk. It'd be at least a 15-cent first gain. I think it would be more of a 20-cent gain as this looks like the breakdown 6. See if we get a bounce right here.
All right, this is really where I got to watch AMD. It's going to test that $21 level. If it's going to get a breakout, it's going to be over 21, I think. And so this is really where I just have to hold tight to my risk. If it breaks it, it breaks it.
I'm hoping for a strong bounce here on TNXP to get in and try to tackle this stock.
All right, we're going to get this 21 push.
Looking like we're getting a tank through the 6.
Let's hope that 21 level holds as resistance. Move down to 93s. A little bit of consolidation. I'm still okay in this trade. It's just, we'll see. It's just that $21 level. I don't want to get squeezed. So just going to watch it. Let it go to my levels is all I can do. Back down to 90s. Let's see if we can get a crack under that 90 level. 80s. All right. There we go. 86. That 21 level held as resistance. Now it's testing the VWAP again. We're going to see if it can test this level and crack underneath it. It's the second time it's trying to break underneath that 2090 level and hold. And so we'll give it some time. Continues trying here. Make it squeeze back up. Big down wick, which makes me not trust it as much. That 2090 level needs to hold though. Doesn't look like it may. Alright, we got another down move. '87s. We'll see if that 2090 level can hold. It's really trying to break under it, but At this point, I can just use that previous high as my risk, which is right around my previous risk anyway. Down to 86s, 85s. I like the confirmation in my risk of that $21 level. It's just about whether it continues to crash here. And so, very easy trade to follow at this point. I can just let it test that previous high. You know, it confirmed my risk level really nicely there. And so just about letting it work here. Marley's upset.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we got to move back under the VWAP. That's good and everything. Gonna let it test some of these levels now. Next level I really want to see it break under is the 73 level. I'll take a little bit of profit if it gets there. Make this trade a little bit easier on myself. Just seeing if we're gonna get that move now. Pretty easy trade now. Just hold it to my levels. Squeeze up. See if that VWAP rejects it at this point. Squeezing back up. I don't like this move as much now that it's back up to the 90s. I don't want to get a squeeze here.
Woo. Big squeeze on Kron.
Yeah, big squeeze on AMD as well. I'm guessing the overall market may be squeezing some here.
Oof. Any. Trying to get in here. Hopefully we get a little bounce. I can get filled.
All right, it's back down to 84s. Want to see that move under 2080. Like I said, this is a very easy trade to follow now. It confirmed my risk, so if it breaks that level, I just got to be quick and just get out. But super easy to follow at this point. Looking for a washout, obviously, but if it doesn't give it to me, I'm confident in getting out where it confirmed my risk up there around 21. There we go, another move down. Let's see if we get a bigger drop here. See if we actually hold under 80s is what I'm looking for. On the 81s, not too bad. Back under 80s. Let's get this ready. See if we can actually hold this level now. And continue dropping. Kind of a little sideways trend though. On the 79s. Let's get that flush down to 2060 for me. You put in a lower high there. I like that lower high, but all right, it's testing 80 again. 79's good. Not too shabby. Just got to see a break. It has some support there, though.
Oof.
78, 76, 74s. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of profit here and then just let the rest of the trade work for me. Ultimate goal is under 2060, so I'm just going to let this work. See if it gives it to me. See if it gives it to me. Sorry. All right, down to 70s. Not too shabby. Looking for 2060 here. Looking for it to hold. Beautiful confirmation in my risk up there at 21, though. Like I said, very, honestly, you might get nervous in this move up to 21s, but it confirmed my risk really nicely there. It kind of made me confident in that risk level, and so that's what I liked about it. Now we'll see if we get a move back down to that previous low of the day. That's what I'm looking for. There's 68s. Now that big level is 70 that is watching. '69s. See if we get down to 60s, 67s.
ADIL going off again.
ADIO. Making a little bit of a move up here. I'm seeing some down wicks. At this point, the trade's easy for me, though. I mean, if it breaks that 85 level, I could just jump out and be protected. There's 67s. We'll see if we get that crack here. Down to the 2060. '64s. I'll let it test. If not, jump out. Let's see if we can crack that 2060 level. Get a big move down. 63s. All right, I'm gonna get out here. Just because it's finding some support here. I'm worried about a bounce. If it bounces back to the VWAP, I might consider adding it. And there's a little bit of a bounce there. Maybe got out a little bit too early, but I'll take it.
TNXP looking good. Just never getting in there. To me, it's just kind of low volume for having that kind of move.
Yeah, there's the bounce.
Definitely had a chance to get in there.
Yeah, I got out right before this bounce, so I'm happy with it. I kind of saw the bounce coming at that previous support level. All right, so yeah, I mean, hey, that is technically, if you look at my gross profit, that's 4 green days in a row.
Yep. There goes TNXP. That's a big miss there.
Yeah, look at Kron. Kron's actually pushing up some here. And so I'll take it, man. I mean, AMD, like, I went over my back testing results for AMD in class earlier this week. And, I used to hate AMD. I used to never trade it. I thought it was not a reliable stock. But when I actually back tested AMD and I looked at the results, AMD was the single most reliable stock for fades and bounces. And so, again, what have I traded all week this week? AMD. It's given me 4 beautiful green trades. And every one of them is almost identical to the other one. Nothing's exactly the same, but they're all very, very similar. And that's why back testing is super important. I back tested it. I used to hate AMD, and it kind of opened my eyes that AMD was super reliable with these VWAP plays. Super reliable. And that's why you see me have 4 green trades on it this month or this week. No red days this week. So, it's kind of one of those things. Now, if I could just get my sizing up, that'd be good. But still, regardless of my size or anything like that, I've been happy with my trading this week for sure. I've been happy with where I've been setting my risk. Before I got in the AMD trade, I said my risk was this $21 level, and just look at this beautiful confirmation in it right here. Just beautiful confirmation in it. And so, I've been happy with where I've been setting my risk. I think my reward targets were pretty spot on for most of these as well. And yeah, happy with the trade overall. Yeah, TNXP really fading there. What did NIO end up doing? I've been noticing it's kind of weird. Right, exactly, Frank. Add 1-0 to the end, I'll be good, brother. But yeah, I mean, it gives me confidence in my trading. It really does give me confidence in my trading. Like Mitch always says, you go through, trading comes in waves. Like you'll have you'll have a big green streak wave that you get into, and then you might have a little back and forth action, and then another green streak wave you'll be getting into. And that's kind of how it's been. Like the week before last, I had a perfect week, no losing days. Last week was kind of so and so. I mean, I think I might have been down on the week, but a small amount. And then this week, came back with another 4 green days and pretty spot on accuracy as well. I've had 4 green trades this week and 1 red trade, only 1 losing trade this week, and so that's kind of how trading is. I just gotta size up a little bit.
TNXP breaking down there.
I know, I'm watching that one too.
And that one gave a beautiful VBOT fade. Just didn't go for it. Should have taken a chance.
This first one up here?
Yeah, that's definitely an easy one.
Yeah, I see that one for sure. I'm taking 1 to 2 trades per day, pick 6. 1 to 2 trades per day. Average gain this week is probably around $20, and so small. But I'll take it for sure. It's kind of one of those things. I've gotten so comfortable using small sizing that it's hard to scale up for me, and it's a process for sure. I've been consistently profitable for months now, but it's just about scaling up in size so my count can reflect that a little bit more. How difficult is backtesting? Do you use Thinkorswim on demand? I wouldn't say backtesting is difficult. It's meticulous. It's time consuming, and it's a process for sure. Like I could show you my backtesting results from the VWAP bounce. Yeah, this is my backtesting results. Actually, I already have it up. And so you can kind of see how I do it. You could probably use Excel to back test here, but you can see I essentially go back in time, and I use Thinkorswim on demand if I need to, just to go back in time to look at the charts. But I just tally up the successes and failures of that strategy. I give myself a success point and a failure point, to where if it has that strategy and then reaches that success or failure point, I would tally it as a success or a failure. And then I go use my watch lists from the past year. You know, if I go to my Twitter, I have a watch list every day for the last year, and I use those stocks and I just look for the strategies. And if it's a success, I tally it as one. If it's a failure, I tally it as one. And then in the end, you know, if you go through, you'll get like a result like this, right? Where how many successful bounces, 18, how many failed bounces, 6. That gives me a 75% accuracy rate. Favorable conditions are volume, large breakouts at the open, previous history of bounces, favorable tickers, AMD, Cron, NIO, CGC, favorable sectors, cannabis, and microchip. And it kind of gives me a guide in trading that strategy. It definitely works, man. And it's one of those things I think a lot of traders forget. But it's one of those things that algo traders are doing. Like, this is what algorithmic traders are doing. And they're doing it for a reason. Because it gives you that data that you need to really attack that strategy the right way, if that makes sense. And so that's why I ultimately do it. But it works, you know. ADIL. Yeah, a lot of people mentioning that one today. Yeah, a little sideways action for ADIL right now. The reason I like it is because it gives you a very defined high right here at 487. A very defined, you know, significant, obvious level to watch right here. Very obvious low level to watch as well. You getting anything else, brother?
No, man. Tell you the truth, I'm just upset because I'm not following my trading plan there. Should have
With
been able to make tons of money on any and on TNXP. It's not taking the trade. It's a 100% there. It's not taking the trade.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, brother.
Uh, in my case, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, you got to be strict on yourself, man. I get it. You got out of ACB at the right time, though. I'm glad. I almost got in this one for the fade, but I held myself back. And you got out at the right time. It ended up squeezing up. DTRM, you mean? Yeah, DTRM squeezing here. Moving. Hey, appreciate the sub, Ash. Appreciate it, man. Also, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, which is the broker I use, I have a link that gets you 10% off any package. And so if you want to help support the channel, you can go through our link. It's one of the ways I keep the stream free. And, I think we'll probably always keep the stream free, but it's one of the ways to help support the channel if you want to go through the link. I just posted it in the chat. You can go check that out. Also, shout out to Trade Ideas. They're cool enough to let me stream these scans every day. And, I think they're a really cool company, really nice scans, make my mornings much, much easier. And so go check out Trade Ideas if you're interested in what as well. And I'll post that link. Go check them out. Yeah, we'll see what ADIL does here. I mean, I'm curious to see what happens with it. We'll see if we get a crash here. I mean, it's already up a ton from yesterday, and so I think it'll probably come back down some, but who knows? It could continue going crazy parabolic. But I'm gonna watch it regardless. I don't think I can buy options on it, but gonna keep an eye on it regardless. No, can't buy options on it. Cannabis stock's kind of going crazy. I'm kind of glad I didn't get caught in those fake outs for the fade. The cannabis stocks had a lot of fake outs for the fade today, like Cron, ACB, and BEV, and so they looked good too. Oh, I think you actually got caught in ACB, huh? It looked good. You stuck to your levels. That's all you can do, man.
It is what it is.
NBEV had a little bit of a bounce there. I mean, I is kind of consolidating around the VWAP a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a triangle there. I don't know, man. For I. The farm bill. Yeah, somebody messaged me about that yesterday. If you're watching it, man, I think it's Lucas. Lucas emailed me yesterday about it. Haven't had a chance to read it. I noticed it last night, but I haven't had a chance to read it, brother, if you're there. And so, yeah, Lucas. Yeah, Lucas, if you're listening to the stream today, man, I haven't had the time to go check it out yet, but I'll get to you after the stream, man. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Like, the problem I have with yes, it's a paid scanner. It's a subscription, Dean. But yeah, the problem I have with the whole cannabis thing going on in the country right now is just the hypocrisy of it all. Like, I live in Texas. I don't smoke weed, but if you're gonna legalize alcohol, an objectively more harmful drug, then you can't really create all this fear with cannabis because it's a substantially less harmful drug if you're being objective. People say it's the gateway drug, which, if you think about it, the only reason cannabis is a gateway drug is because when you go to buy it in a lot of states, you have to go buy it from a drug dealer. And what do drug dealers do? They sell drugs. They sell other types of drugs. And then they're going to eventually offer that to you. And you're going to maybe move on to something else. That's the only reason you could even consider it a gateway drug is because it's illegal. If it was legal, you would go to shops and there wouldn't be any other drugs there. And so they're actually forcing it to be a gateway drug by keeping it illegal. You know, it's ridiculous. That's the problem I have with it. Don't mean to go on a rant, but it's ridiculous. Nah, man, I use an electric cigarette two-way. That's what that is, man. I have two kids and I live in Texas. Like I said, not that I'm anything, not that I'm morally against it at all. I'm pro legalization for sure, but I have two kids and I live in Texas, and that's just not a risk I'm willing to take. You know.
Yeah, NIO looking good here, guys. It's building up there. A lot of volume there next to that $8 breakout. Only problem is this would be more of we gotta wait for the VWAP, kind of the VWAP bounce here if we want to play this.
Oh, NIO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching it. It was one of those ones that showed up on the back testing results. Get out of here, Todd. Yeah, I've had Girl Scout cookies before. What's up, Dex? Nothing, man. I mean, a small green day for me. I'll take it. It's my fourth green day this week. My fourth green trade this week. I've had four winning trades, one losing trade this week. Um, I've been really trying to keep my wins and losses consistent, and so I think it's been reflecting nicely. But yeah, all of it just bothers me. I'm in the Houston area, Dean. I think Mitch is down on the day.
Yeah.
One losing trade, I think. It's all right. I mean, like Mitch always says, like trading comes in waves, right? The way to be successful and consistent is to minimize the down waves and maximize the up waves, if that makes sense, you know. And but it's all waves, man. You know, we both do good sometimes, we both do bad sometimes, but we both do pretty well at minimizing the times we do bad.
Yeah, essentially we've been having perfect trading plans, just not taking them. Would have made too much money today if I just followed my plan.
It happens, brother. Don't stress it. Yeah, I mean, it's not even the police charts. It's I have two kids, man, and you know, it's not the police. I don't care about them. You know, um, it's more about CPS and like all that drama that would bring into my life. And like I said, it's just the risk to reward isn't there. You know what I mean? It's just too risky for me. I'm just not. It's not something I want to do. You know, and that I would feel comfortable doing with kids in Texas specifically. Not with kids in general, but specifically in Texas. It's just too risky for me. You know, I'm just not going to do it. But like I said, nothing morally against it. It's just the whole thing bothers me. You know. Right, 100% Dean. Yeah, man. It's you know, it's silly. Like, you know, it's hypocritical is what it is. Like that's the problem. It's hypocritical. People say, "Oh, it's a gateway drug." Okay, well, then stop making it illegal and let them go buy it in a safe place where they're not going to get offered other stuff. You know, the problem really lies in the jail system here. It's for profit jail system, and um, big pharma and probably alcohol lobbyists as well. Giving politicians PAC money, and just so they'll keep it illegal, and the everyday public are kind of oblivious to it all, and they just know that somebody said it was bad a long time ago, so it must be bad. It's just silly. It's just ridiculous. At a certain point, people have to be able to. I mean, it's inevitable that it's going to be legalized across the country eventually. It's just about when, and that's what I have a problem with. Is that it should have been done by now. All the data's out on it.
All right, guys, looking at SFM. One of the key things I'm noticing in the market is a potential down move in retail, kind of retail stocks, big blocks. I've been seeing cores go down lately, Target, Walmart, stuff like that. Seeing this stock here. Would like it to make a little bounce here because I can't short it here. I would have to risk off of 22.84. Looking for more of a 23 entry. Definitely it has some volume there on that last big red candle. Could break down here, but gotta let it build back.
On which one? Sorry, SFM.
Yep.
Yeah, I could pull you up.
There's really not much. It needs to come back to 23.
All right, hold it down, Mitch. I'll be back. What's up, brother?
Just watching over here.
U stock trade. U stock trade. There's some pros and cons. U stock trade is cheap commissions, minimalist platform, but I mean you can essentially do what I do with TEFs, which is just put my Thinkorswim charts next to it and use those for charts, and use U stock to execute your trades. Commissions are $1 per trade, so $2 a round trip. The fills aren't great, and there's some restricted stocks. There's no shorting as well. So if you're a long trader that is going to use small sizing with cheap commissions, they're not bad. Some stocks are restricted, like I said. The fills aren't great, but they're not. Sometimes they're not terrible as well. It just depends on the volume and the spread, as always. I used Ustock for a long time. Really quick deposits and withdrawals. You could withdraw money really easy. It's like a bank account, is what I always said. You can do it really easily, and you can deposit money easily as well. It's quick.
God dang it. Got rejected there. Tried to get into AMD there at 74.
Sorry, Salty. Mitch is. I got Mitch's screen up. Here, I can put the scanners up unless Mitch is gonna get in something. So
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm in.
Okay. There you go. ADIL is the big one that's on the scanners now. Texas actually did. We do have 13 cannabis bills for the 2000 or for the January legislative session, and so we do have 13. One of them is to expand medical. One of them is to decriminalize. One of them is to allow.
Right. Short there, guys. 2074. It's got to hold tight to a 80, 82, 82 on the out here for AMD.
Yeah, my exit wasn't bad. I got out at about 63. Lows were 2050, so not too shabby.
Not a bad trade at all. Got to be careful here, guys. Don't want these 80s filled. There he goes.
Wait, where's your risk?
82s. What's this high over here? It's curving around. That was the third resistance right here at 79s. It needed to hold that resistance to curve back down to go back to the daily low.
Yeah, for sure.
$16 stop out.
You avoided the squeeze up that it just did, so not too bad, man.
Yeah, there was just nothing. It was either make it or break it moment, and that's why it's a quick trade.
Yeah, it's what it is, brother. It happens, man. What do we think about AGE for long term? I'm really not a long term investor. All I can really do is look at the daily chart, which it has 2 days. Did this one just open up 2 days ago? IPO'd maybe? I don't know. But I honestly, I have no idea, man. I don't know the company. It only has 2 days to look at. So to me, it's just a complete toss up. It did have a huge run yesterday from 113 to 420s. So let me fix this. VRML, DTRM. Yeah, DTRM is kind of tricky at this point. Couldn't ever hold over one, find some support over one. Kind of consolidating sideways now. I don't know if I like that one or not. We'll see. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of gotten rejected around 3 times now. We'll see what happens with it, but
Yeah, it has that third resistance there. It just needs to hold support here, guys, and it can curve around. If it breaks down through the 40 support, it'll probably just break down. So this is when, at least in my case, I would want it to hold right there, that 40. That shows good support there.
yeah, ASNS had a nice little VWAP bounce there. So did some of the cannabis stocks. A few nice little bounces, like on Cron, ASNS. A few little VWAP bounces there for those. NBEV as well had two nice ones.
This shit was tradable.
ASNS, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, and ADL, I like them, but can't trade that. It's a lot of volume coming into cannabis stocks.
Yeah, somebody said it was from the Farm Bill.
I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. A lot of people starting to soak in, and the chart doesn't really have it bearish anymore. It has it essentially a good drawdown on a lot of them. A lot of them have great setups that if it breaks resistance, they'll be looking really bullish. And then all they need is good news. Good news could come with that farm bill, and they could be right back up there.
Yeah, I'm researching the Farm Bill now. Yeah, the Farm Bill is necessary as well because hemp is a much more viable product than paper than wood paper, um, and that's part of the reason it's remained illegal thus far as well, is because the paper lobbyists. Um, it's just a much more viable. All right, well, I'm probably done for the day, Mitch. You think you're gonna get anything else, brother?
I'll probably be done.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, if you're interested in checking out TradeNet, the broker I use, I have a link that gets you 10% off. I'll post that in the chat. Go check it out. It's one of the ways we keep the stream free, and we'll always most likely keep the stream free. So this is just one of the ways you can help support the channel. Also, guys, check out Trade Ideas. Really cool scanner. Allows you to do a lot of different stuff here. And makes my mornings really easier. Just a cool company. They allow me to actually stream these scans every day. So shout out to Trade Ideas, cool company. Really cool scanners, make my mornings easier. Lets me see what's moving in the market overall. So go check them out if you're interested as well. There's the two links. And yeah, guys, not a bad week for me. Had four green trades, one red trade. Definitely a green week thus far. Almost a perfect week. Yesterday was a break-even day, so I can't say perfect because it was break-even, but nice week for me. I'll take it for sure. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning. And so make sure you come check us out every weekday morning right here on YouTube. And again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, if you want to help support the channel, click the like button on this video. I definitely appreciate any support we can get. And so if you want to show your love, click the like button and, help support the channel, guys. But good luck for the rest of the day. Good luck in the markets. And I'll see you all Monday morning. For everybody in class, we'll see you guys this weekend. So have a good day. Good luck and have a good weekend, all.